Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. I'm Jessica. It's nice to meet you. Today's video is going to be a little different. I have been gone for a while, as you can probably tell. A lot of things have changed. It's been really hectic. I finally feel like I got my bearings back. Still haven't gotten a haircut. Put a little bit of makeup on. Don't let it fool you. I was not wearing makeup since the last video you saw. It was bad for the past 2.5 weeks, and I will make a video on that. And it was rough. So video, I wanted to kind of tell you about my birth story. You kind of saw like the little clips and everything about, you know, how I gave birth and all that stuff, but I wanted to kind of go more in depth. And then I'll also debut my baby Eli. Right now he is on the swing chilling. He was sleeping, and then I was hurrying up doing this makeup. I don't know, my makeup, it probably looks bad. I haven't done makeup in a hot minute, and I have no eyelash extensions. I have press-on nails. Literally, this is mom life, and I just yesterday barely dyed my hair. So normally, stuff that I took for granted, I was like, I get to do all this stuff and, you know, get my hair done, lashes done, no care in the world. When really it's like I have a baby screaming, crying when I'm like in the shower. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, please comment it down below. And since you're here, subscribe to my channel. I used to post every Friday. Now it's Sunday. I feel like it's Sundays now. Just nice and chill, but it took a lot for me to even try to make this video. So, but I've been feeling a little bit better, so I wanted to come up on here and tell you guys my birth story. So I guess I can start off. It was the 21st. Let's start with the 21st of September. I don't know, I was talking to my cousin a lot. I've been talking to her a lot. She's over in Korea. She's in the military. And I was just talking to her, and I remember, like, you know, I was having some contractions, but I thought that Braxton Hicks. Yeah. So I thought that was going on. And so I was like, okay, whatever. And then I noticed a little bit of a mucusy thing come out of me. And so I was like, is that the mucus plug? Is that the mucus plug? I don't know. No water came out, so don't worry about that. So then I was like, okay, whatever. A little bit came out, but it wasn't bloody. It wasn't a bloody show. That's what they call it. So I was just kind of like waiting game at this point. And I was like, Crystal, I was asking her, like, did this happen to you? She's like, yeah, within 24 hours, I had my baby. And I was like, you hear him? Y'all hear him? I'm probably going to have to hold him in this video. So, un momento. Oh, darn it. It's like when I need something, he's right in my hand. When I need something, okay. Y'all can see his booty? I need his binky so he can be quiet. You can be quiet. I love you. I love him so much. There we go. I'm trying to tell your birth story. So yeah, I had the little mucus plug, and I was asking her about it, and she said that, yeah, it's within 24 hours, and I was like, no. I mean, this is early. Like, his due date is the 25th. This is the 21st of September. So I was like, I don't know. So then it was around 4 o'clock. I was getting tired. I was gonna go to sleep. And then my cousin, she's like, you gotta watch the Squid Games. And this is before it went viral. Before it went viral, y'all. And so I was just like, okay, let me watch it. And I binge watched like 3 episodes, and I was like, but I wasn't feeling so hot. And then I went to use the restroom. I went to go use the restroom, and that's when the rest of my mucus plug came out. And this one was a bloody show. So then I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And then my husband came. And oh my gosh, he's so fussy. We just changed his formula, and I was like, I was like, I think I don't feel good. I'm having contractions. And then he was like, okay, you know, nothing was really going on. And then I went to go take a nap because I was tired. I was like, because I felt comfortable sleeping with my husband when he came home. That was kind of like the last few months, the last month, I just had to sleep with my husband. Otherwise, I just couldn't really sleep. So, went to sleep around noon. That's when I started having really bad contractions, and I had a feeling. It was like my intuition. I was like, you know what? I gotta go. We got to go to the hospital. And he was gonna work that day, actually. So that happened, and then we drive over there. It was around probably 1:45. We check in. I get checked in and everything. He goes to the waiting room. I'm in the little like pre-screening, I guess you could say. So I'm over there, and then they did the COVID test, and then they were checking me and everything, and it turned out I was 2 centimeters dilated already. And I was like, oh snap. So they're like, you're gonna be in labor soon. So I was like, okay. And then they're like, okay, but we're waiting on your COVID results. And I was like, okay, I'm negative. Like, I know I'm negative. I don't have COVID. I don't. They come back, but mind you, when they were waiting on the test and everything, she said, we're going to speed up this process, so we need you to walk. We need you to walk. And I'm like, what? So I'm walking in this hospital for 30 minutes, and that's when my sciatica was kicking in, which is like a lower back pain, because he was head down. He's been head down for months, y'all, months, which is great. But he was head down right on my nerve, and it was hurting, and I was moaning, and it was miserable. Then I was miserable, and my mouth was dry and all that shit. And then finally they told me when I went back inside that you are positive for COVID. And I said, bitch, what? No. No. They're like, you're probably asymptomatic. And I was like, no, I had COVID before, and it was not like this. They're like, well, maybe you're immune now. I don't know. And I was like, okay. And so they treated me really, like, I know they didn't mean to, but they kind of did. You know, like I was an infection or whatever. But like I don't know. They just had to complain a little bit more because they have to like put in more stuff on before they go in the room and this and I don't know, derobe and all that shit. So anyways, I was waiting there. Turns out it was a full moon. And you're like, what? Full moon? And mind you, I haven't even seen my husband. I talked to him and told him that apparently I'm tested positive for COVID. So, and then he was still in the waiting room, and I was still in that pre-screening room. And they were saying like, hey, there's 6 other women that are pregnant and they're having babies, so you're gonna have to stay here. And I'm like, no. This bed is uncomfortable. Everything's uncomfortable. They finally gave me some medicine because it was really bad. And then I go in there. Finally, I'm able to go into my actual place I'm gonna give birth. My husband comes, but he cannot leave because they said that you probably got exposed by your wife because she's positive. So he can't leave. He had nothing packed. I had my stuff packed, luckily, but he wasn't prepared. I was prepared. He was working all the way till this day, and I'm just like, you should have packed, bruh. But anyways, so he couldn't leave or anything like that, and here I am in so much pain. And they finally did the epidural, and it started kicking in, but then I don't know what happened or what, but it just stopped working, and every time I press it, it wouldn't work. It got to the point where it was 6.5 centimeters dilated, and I was in excruciating pain, and the epidural wasn't working. I felt every contraction. The guy had to come back and do a second epidural injection for me. And that's when I was scared, because the first time I did it, I had mild contractions, so I was able to stand still. But the second time, I had to pray to God because I had a contraction right when he was inserting it, so I was scared, y'all. I was like, no, like, I'm gonna be paralyzed, you know. I'm thinking this. I want to say the night I did not sleep at all. I didn't eat at all, mind you. I only ate that morning when my husband came home, and I ate like, I think it was like a Jack in the Box like little sandwich thing, and that was it. And then once I was in labor and everything, they said you can't eat So I didn't eat for over 24 hours. And I was hungry, y'all. All I had was literally water, ice, and maybe a serum mist because I was nauseous from the anesthesia. Okay, once he put it in, the epidural, the second time it started working, I started feeling much better. But that whole night was a nightmare. Like, but I had to really control my breathing and all that stuff, which really didn't help. And no matter what side I was on, the sciatica, whatever, it was painful. It was painful, y'all. And so it was around 11, I started feeling more contractions, and they were getting more closer and closer. And then the nurse, I had a whole bunch of nurses, they were like rotating like crazy, and she was like, oh, I'm your nurse now. But she was a talkative Nancy, like, oh my god, she would talk, and it was annoying. And we're gonna check you. I'm gonna try to make you do some positions to make the baby rotate so it's an easy birth, and and I was like, okay, cool. Well, my doctor finally came in, and she's like, oh, you're 9.5 centimeters dilated. We're not gonna rush it. We're gonna wait till you're 10. You're gonna push. And I was like, okay. And she's like, I'll be back. And then she leaves. The nurse that I told you about, you know, that's talkative Nancy. Well, she comes in and she was like, she heard the doctor and everything. She comes in, you know, closer, and she's like, we're gonna do some practice pushes. And I was like, huh? Oh, my battery's dying. Oh my gosh. Hopefully I can finish this story. She didn't think I was that good of a pusher, but I was. And so the baby started coming, but I couldn't really push because the doctor wasn't there, and I had to wait 10, 15, 20 minutes actually to do that. And finally I couldn't take it anymore, and I rolled over, and then that's when the doctor finally came and I was able to push. I got a 3rd-degree tear. This baby was 8 pounds 9 ounces that you saw in the video, and he was born at 12:56 or 57 at a.m. Oh no, p.m. Whatever, my brain. Anyways, it was crazy. That part was insane. My husband, he cut the umbilical cord, which that was like, you know, he was kind of like, I don't want to do any, I don't want to see it, I don't want to, I'm gonna throw up, I'm gonna pet faint. Well, he did it. He was able to do it. Oh my god, this video is like, seems to be impossible to make because I have a baby now. Something so simple would have taken me probably like an hour. It's taking forever. But it's all for you. Anyways, my battery died. Of course, so I had to change it and all that, so fixed it. But yeah, I forgot to say, when I had my complication with the first epidural, I was in so much pain, he ended up eating his own fecal matter, and so they said that he was going to have to go to the NICU because of this and that and bacteria. So I was like, okay, so I kind of expected that, but I didn't expect that whenever he came out, he had fluid in his lungs. He came out, he was, you know, and he was put on my chest and everything, and then they took him, and then I thought he was okay, but he still had fluid in his lungs, but they were like, whatever. They checked him, and then he was like in a little box still, and then he ended up within like a couple hours brought to the NICU because he couldn't breathe. His breathing was like at 88 and it needs to be at a 95, so he wasn't really breathing on his own that well. And so they took him, and I was depressed, y'all. I couldn't visit him because I was COVID positive. They had to wait till he got tested. My husband couldn't visit him. It was very sad. And I remember getting a call from a social worker, and mind you, by this time it's already been a couple days, and I was also pumping my colostrum and all that. I didn't know how to use a pump, but I just figured it out, that pump. Later on I'll tell you the story of me not knowing how to pump and why I'm not even breastfeeding anymore. And I wasn't bonding with him. He barely latched. He latched when I did have him, but it was only for like a couple minutes, and then he had to be sent away, which was very sad and depressing. But yeah, I was talking to a social worker, and I was telling her that I just don't think that I have COVID. And she said, you know, she's like, how are you feeling? I was like, how do you think I feel, lady? Like, I feel like shit. I feel terrible. I don't have my baby with me. And then the nurse comes back and she says, I heard that, you know, you don't think you have COVID. And I was like, no, I really don't. And then that's when she was like, we'll take you another test. And I took the test and it turned out that it was negative. And then I took another test because they're like, maybe it's, you know, it's wrong. It's negative. My baby was negative. And I couldn't see my baby, I couldn't hold my baby because y'all told me I had COVID and I didn't. And it's the most crucial points in his life when he needed me. At least I could have at least held him or fed him. It was very, very sad. But now I have him, so that's the good news. But it didn't end there. Finally, I was able to visit him at the NICU once I was said that I was a negative, so I can finally visit him. And he was negative, so he could finally be with the other babies, because he was quarantined as well. And so I go over there, we wash our hands, you know, all that stuff, and then everything was good. You know, they still monitored him. They said he had a little bit of jaundice because, you know, he's having all these antibiotics and all this stuff inside of him. Obviously, it's not going well. And then we're about to leave and everything, and then he does a hearing test and he fails his left ear. Thought maybe, oh, it's antibiotics, it's fluid. He fails it the second time. Third time, he fails it. So my son is probably going to have a hearing aid on his left ear. And they said it was just something that he was just born with. It wasn't anything that I did or the hospital did, which I feel like they did, because I just feel like, you know, something's off. And it's moderate. At least till he develops speech. And then maybe he doesn't need it anymore, but he's gonna need it for a while. And it's really sad. But all in all, he's very healthy. You know, we got his 10 fingers, 10 toes. He's breathing much, much better. He's a hungry boy. He's a big boy. He knows my voice really well. It's just he can't hear that well on that side. So, but I wanted to show you guys him. So let me clear up my face and everything. Oh my god, my eyes. So I want to give you his debut. He is almost like 2 months in a week or so. So when you guys saw him, that was when he was like first born, like seconds when he was born. And now this is him right here. So I'm going to bring the camera to you. So this is Eli right here. He's finally sleeping. He loves sleeping in my arms. Yeah. My baby Eli. You want to say hi to the camera? Look at that face. Hi. Hi, baby. Hi, baby Eli. Okay, I'm gonna give him his passy back. He also senses me when I'm not around. He smells me, and if he can't smell me, then he gets really fussy. Especially like when I leave to go somewhere, my husband has to deal with his cranky ass. Oh my god, this lighting though. Yeah, but that's my baby right here. He's my cute little boy. I didn't think I was gonna get through this video, but I did. So thank you guys so much for watching and being patient with me. I don't know if I can try to be consistent. I'm trying my best to be consistent. It's just hard with a newborn, and yeah, it's just hard. So please subscribe to my channel, subscribe to our channel. We try to post every week sometime. Yeah, and I can't be wearing my hair down so much because he's gonna be starting cooling. You pulled my hair already. Yeah, he's gonna be, he can already hold his neck up and all that stuff. So, but yeah, this is my baby. So that's his birth story. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and comment. Hopefully, sorry the battery was dying at the end and this is all over the place, but to be real with you, I'm all over the place. When you have a kid, you're all over the place. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye guys.